Hello YouTube and welcome back to Brewing with Magic. So recently I've been toying with building a standard version of a Taxes deck, playing with cards like Containment Priest, Draenith Magistrate, Hushbringer, Archon of Emeria, and Radine, God of the Worthy, but I haven't really found a shell that worked really well in my opinion, nothing I definitely wanted to show to the public. So the other day I was playing and I got absolutely destroyed by a mono white deck with only 4 cards. It's only 4 cards that I saw, period, and that was a Giant Killer, an Usher of the Fallen, a Luminarch Aspirant, and a Glorious Anthem, and they absolutely wrecked me. I don't know if I was just going too slow or if they were just going way too fast, probably that one. And it made me think, hey, what about that tax deck I'm trying to make? What if I kind of combined a really fast white rush deck with some of those tax cards to just push it through, make sure they couldn't disrupt what I was doing? So cards like Containment Priest work, Draenith Magistrate works, Hushbringer, too many Croxes running around in the meta right now. You do not want them to cast a Cruxa and then they just get to keep it on the board. Archon of Emeria, once again, just didn't go with this particular deck because there are times where we definitely want to be casting more than one spell a turn. And then Radine, God of the Worthy, is absolutely amazing, and I'll get into why in just a minute. So let's go over the deck real quick. We have 4 Code Spell Clerics. This is a really neat creature. If you have to throw it on turn 1 and it's the only turn 1 you have, you definitely want to play it, but the goal is to try to play it on turn 2 or turn 3 as your second spell. Get that +1/+1 counter on a different creature, in my opinion, in most cases, so that creature can attack that turn for 1 extra damage, which is important in a deck like this, and then you use the Code Spell next turn to attack or use it as a blocker, and it does get bigger if you have a Luminarch Aspirant out or a Glorious Anthem, so that's nice. We have 4 copies of Giant Killer. Once again, if it's your only 1-drop in your opening hand, you definitely throw it as the 1-drop. It's really nice. It'll stop, like, you got all those little 1/1s coming at you in red decks or things like that. And the tap ability is super strong just to make sure your creatures get through late game. 4 copies of Selfless Savior just to protect all your creatures. 4 copies of Usher the Fallen, and another amazing card from the new set. 1 white, 2/1, Boast, 1 white, 1 colorless. Boast, in case you don't know, is whenever you attack, you can trigger this ability once per turn, and you will create a 1/1 human warrior creature token. We have 2 copies of Containment Priest, 1 white, 1 colorless for a 2/2. It has flash, so that's nice. And then if a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. We have 2 copies of Draenith Magistrate, 1 white, 1 colorless, 1/3. Your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. We're getting around cards like Escape can't come out. You've got Foretell, they're not coming out. All kinds of different shenanigans you're shutting down right there. We got 4 copies of Glass Casket, 4 Luminarch Aspirants, 4 Seasoned Hollowblades. We have 3 copies of Radine, God of the Worthy. You can use the backside Protector Shield for 1 white and 3 colorless if you'd like, but it's not really what it's in the deck for. We're not trying to cast 4 mana cost things in this deck. We just really want the Radine, God of the Worthy, the front card, which is 1 white, 2 colorless for Legendary Creature God, 2/3 Flying Vigilance. Snow lands your opponent control enters the battlefield tapped. In the current meta, that's not bad at all, but what we really want is non-creature spells opponents cast with converted mana cost 4 or greater, cost 2 more to cast. You get this out in a timely manner, and they're not going to be able to shatter you. They're not going to be able to extinction event you, and you're just trying to save yourself another turn or 2, whether you're on the play or the draw, to get your creatures hitting them and finishing the game out. Then we have 4 copies of Glorious Anthem. We have a really simple land base, 4 Castle Ardenvales and 18 Plains. Super easy, tight packaged deck that works really well, super fast. I'm calling it TurboTax. It's about that time of the year. We're about to get into the gameplay, but before we do, please, it's completely free. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, and remember to stay till the end to see the summary, see what I would do to change the deck. Okay, let's get into it. Pokatan. Okay, 4 Plains, Selfless, Luminarch Aspirant, and God of the Worthy. Give it a try, give it a try. They lead with a Castle Embereth, possibly mono red. We'll lead with a Plains and a Selfless Savior. They follow up that castle with the Plains, pass it back. We draw a Giant Killer, so I feel like it's probably better to save the Giant Killer for the removal, then to cast it next turn. Or this turn. So let's throw the Luminarch Aspirant, using the Selfless Saver to protect it. Okay. Pass turn. Go into, or pass phase. We'll go into attack phase. Attack with the Selfless Savior, putting the token on the Luminarch Aspirant. Now the Plains. Banishing Light is the play. That will not help the puppy. Yeah, no point in popping that. Okay, another one. Interesting. So, if we do this, our non-creature spells cost more. And then next turn we can start putting counters on it with the Aspirant. We're going to give it a try. We're going to give it a try. Attack for 1. Got him down to 18. That was a fun intro. So they can't even do Banishing Light. Okay. Akiri. Fearless Voyager. Be bigger. Take your turn. Glorious Anthem is the draw. Glorious Anthem would be an amazing card. We'll do it next turn, because that way the Selfless Savior can get nice and big too, and we can start attacking with that. So go to attack phase, and no, I'll pump up the God, because if I start pumping up the Selfless and they destroy it, then it just feels, or if they attack target something else and I have to sack that, it just doesn't feel great. So I'm not going to do that. Just swing in the air. Hit him 3, take him to 15, and pass the turn. So that, I mean, they're going to be playing an equipment deck. Other warriors get +1/+1. The war leader's out. Coming to the field. Now, Giant Killer's on deck for Kiri. Kiri attacks. I think I let that happen this turn. Just take it. Take the 4 down to 14. Boom. Nice. And we take our turn. I wanted to throw the Glorious Anthem this turn, but we got to get that Akiri out of here. So we'll do that. Now we'll throw the Giant Killer, so next turn we can start tapping their creatures down, or at least one of them per turn, and we'll also have the Glorious Anthem out. So it's not looking horrible. Throw the Giant Killer. Let's go all in on our flyer at this point. Whoa. Simmer down. Attack in the air. 11. Pass the turn back. Another land. They're at 6 now. Okay. Are they attacking? Passing the turn. Okay. We draw a castle. Doesn't really help us too much. We go ahead and use the Giant Killer's ability to tap the War Leader. Okay, we'll throw the Anthem. Okay, and then we swing with the lot. Let's, just in case next turn they throw another, well, I mean, that's if, yeah, I think we're good. Boom, boom, boom. And there we go. Opponent. Okay, 3 lands in the opener with a Code Spell Cleric, Usher, Luminarch, Aspirant and a Glorious Anthem. Definitely going to keep it. We'll save the Cleric for another turn when we can cast it with another creature, since we have a turn 2 and a turn 3. Wish we had some protection for that Aspirant, but passage for the opponent. We draw a Casket. Definitely want to get the Luminarch Aspirant out here. Not only is it going to be pumping the Usher now, but the first thing they're going to want to do is get rid of the Aspirant. So this is kind of good for us, because this is going to start getting us tokens if we need to go that route. Yeah. Which one to get rid of first? That is the question. They're both +1 damage a turn in theory. This one just spreads it out. This one, well, I mean, it can spread it out too, but you have to have more creatures. So really nice 2 cards. So they're on green. Here comes the red. They're on Gruul. And they're bone crushing that. They went with the Aspirant first. Gotcha. So the Glass Casket or the Giant Killer can both take out the Bone Crusher. And let's do that on a turn where I can throw the Cleric as well. So this turn is, in my opinion, definitely the Anthem. Swinging in with the Usher, bringing the opponent down to 13. I'm hoping they throw the Bone Crusher Giant this turn. That is what I want to see. A Lovestruck Beast instead. That is just as good with us. So, I want to start getting this out soon. So, well, this is guaranteed low, and this can also hit the Bone Crusher we know about, or bigger creatures. So, yeah, I think it's actually better to hold off on the Cleric. Drop the Glass Casket. Take out the Lovestruck. Then, throw this out now. Get the tote, or get the counter, and attacking for 5. And the turn, and this now, if the opponent throws the Bone Crusher or anything large at all, we kill it with the Giant Killer. Edgewall Innkeeper into the Bone Crusher. So that means the Edgewall is going to be in our way just a little. Oh man. I wish I could do both this turn. I mean, as in that also. So we'll use the Giant Killer on the Bone Crusher. Taking a little bit of damage. That's okay. Throw out the Giant Killer for next turn and swing in with everything. They're going to block the 5-2. Take 2, go to 6. Giant Killer is probably going to be a nice way to finish this game out. Akron War. Okay, well, we just tap our own creature, right? Or, well, they're tapped out too. So what is Glorious Anthem? That's lethal. There we go. All attack. Boom, boom. Quick, clean, and simple. Poop Goose. Good name. Solid. Hopefully for them. So we'll go first. We'll keep it. It's a little odd because it's a turn 1 code spell. Cleric. So no bonus. But it is a 1/1 on the board right now. And then depending on what they play, color-wise, we can choose to play the Luminarch Aspirant or Season Hollowblade into the Luminarch. It just depends on if they're playing red or black. Okay, mono white. I don't think is going to be able to get rid of this Luminarch Aspirant right away. And then we have the Glass Casket. So let's, because what they could do is they could hide it under something like, yeah, let's just throw the Luminarch Aspirant. I'm just thinking if I were to throw the Season Hollowblade, what kind of cards in their deck can they do to manipulate it? So they could, Skyclave Aspirant, so it's exile stuff. So Hushbringer, so we don't care about Hushbringer. That doesn't bother us. We'll throw that out. Our third land, I think we definitely are slamming the Glorious Anthem out. Now making all of our creatures bigger. Let's put the counter on the Luminarch Aspirant so double blocks don't hurt us. Swing in. 3 Snowlands. What's coming at us? We need to top deck another land. That would be glorious. Glorious. Okay, Heliod, Sun's Crown is the play. They attack us for 1, gain a life. Get a counter! So we have a Glass Casket now to take care of that, but we didn't draw another land. So I don't know if we care about the Hushbringer this turn, because it does have lifelink though. I think the Luminarch Aspirant is the better play for now. Let's put that on the code spell Cleric and on the Luminarch Aspirant to just spread them out again. Next turn we'll double up this Luminarch and we can swing with the whole board and Glass Casket something. So they take it all, they're down to 5. We're probably going to be able to bring Heliod out as a creature. Let's see, Selfless Savior for 1. So they just need, what, 1 more? Maul the Skyclaves. That brings out the Heliod. Okay, they put them all on the Hushbringer. Good play. Good play, good play. Okay, they bring us down to 15. They go up to 9. We have 2 Glass Caskets. So this turn we'll Glass Casket. Oh, nice. We got an Usher, so that's another card. So we'll Glass Casket the Hushbringer. Next turn, if he brings Heliod back out, we could always Glass Casket the Heliod. They can't cast a creature, I don't think. Yeah, if they cast 1 creature and they have a land, they can bring them all back out. So there is that. Let's throw the Usher out, just to have more creatures. Put 1 token on this. Like I said, let's just spread it completely out. Swing in with everything. They have to block at least 1. Okay, so they blocked the Aspirant, leaving the Owls. I think they should have probably blocked with this, because this they can sack for free. This they have to pay for. Maybe they wanted the lifelink. I'm not sure. So there's another Outseed of Life's Bounty for them. Righteous Valkyrie brings out the Heliod Sun's Crowned. So we just Glass Casket the Righteous Valkyrie next turn and swing with everything, and that's game over. So we also have the Giant Killer, but it's not needed. Like I said, we just Glass Casket the Righteous Valkyrie this game. Grand Pause. Does that mean they take a lot of time, or they're an old man? So we have 2 planes, a Glass Casket, Luminarch Aspirant, Glorious Anthem, and a Red Ants. We go first. I want to go a little faster than that, but I kept it on accident. I wanted to keep that, I mean. Oh, my finger slipped. Oh! Well, at least we go first, so that means we'll have a creature out with the Luminarch Aspirant. They aren't going to be a normal deck that we're used to. Okay, well, there's the Season Hollow Blade, so that's the new play. We got lucky. This was the plan the whole time. Next turn, we'll throw the Luminarch Aspirant, most likely, because it gives them something to start focusing on, and if they're removing creatures, they can't get to this, then that means that's attacking. Turn after, I don't know, maybe the next turn is the, there's just so many different options this deck can do, because we could go here, here, or here. They're not playing Snowlands, that would have been cool. Non-creature spells will be more expensive, but they're not, we could throw this on our turn 4. Just options. Not sure what the opponent's doing yet. They're taking a grand pause. If I were them, they're probably focusing on how do I get rid of the Season Hollow Blade, but, I mean, are they going to wait till my turn, maybe Bone Crusher it, and that way it taps and can attack? So, well, let's find out. We have another land. Let's lead off with the Usher. Sometimes people like to instantly kill things when they hit the board. No? Okay. So then we'll throw the Luminarch Aspirant. They're going to either, in my opinion, probably try to, if they're playing Bone Crusher, Bone Crush this, or pre-bet. Okay, no. Let's see. Do I get this trigger? What are they holding up? It's got to be a Bone Crusher. There's the Bone Crusher. So we'll activate the ability. We really want both of these. Don't know what they're playing, and we're going wide right now, so I'm sorry, Glass Casket. I think I just don't know what they're playing. If they're playing board wipes or whatnot, so we might need that. Yeah, we'll keep that. So we get rid of the casket. Bone Crusher does nothing, like we said. Go to attack phase. Let's put the +1 on the Usher, the Fallen, because if we put it on the Seasoned Hollowblade, that is nice. But now if they kill the Luminarch, the Usher's a little bit bigger. If they don't kill the Luminarch, keep pumping the Usher and get it out of, like maybe we can get out of Bone Crusher range next turn. Valky, God of Lies. Dang it, they're going to find our Redain. Did not want to lose that, but it looks like Glorious Anthem is most likely coming out next turn. Yeah, that was a good one. They can turn into that next turn. Doesn't affect us, it's just they become a 2/3. Another Seasoned Hollowblade. We'll put that on our own Seasoned Hollowblade, or save it for. Okay, so now we have to put the counter on the Luminarch Aspirant so that we can swing in with the team and they can't block anything. Pass turn. Okay, we swing in for 11, bringing them down to 9, and the turn. So all they have to do is, let's see, if they do Extinction Event, we lose the Seasoned Hollowblade and the Luminarch. They also lose the Valky, so that means they would be spending all their mana and we would get back Radiant. So it's not great. It's not bad. Thank goodness we've been pumping this. So we could kind of rebuild our board. We don't want to see an Extinction Event. Tell you that. Low Strider. Okay. Got themselves some blockers. I like to draw pretty much almost everything in our deck except the land at this point, because we need to save the Seasoned Hollowblade for the Seasoned Hollowblade. Another Usher. So we can throw the Usher and use this Usher. This turn we need to pump. What if we pump this? He'll have to double block to kill it if I pump that, because it's a 3 defense. So yeah, he'll either have to block this or this. So I say I'm going to pump the Luminarch Aspirant itself. Attack with everything. We will boast this. Opponent's thinking on blocks. Okay. This is a decent amount of thinking. Okay, a 0/4 is going to block the 4/4. They'll probably sack it to the Bow Strider. Valky is going to block the Seasoned Hollowblade. So we do have to initiate the ability of the Seasoned Hollowblade. Boom, we'll do that. This is actually good. We are not throwing the Usher now, and we're also not boasting, because now if they have a board wipe, we're going to be throwing this, and if they have Extinction Event, well, they just can't throw it next turn if they top deck land. I just don't know what they're playing, and since they can return so much stuff, it wouldn't hurt them to have Extinction Event. They didn't block with the Woe Strider, which is odd, as in not just odd, but odd amount, and so if they had an Extinction, they would probably be going even. So this is when we throw this rating, and then in the air we're just going to start taking them down. So that was a really good turn for us. Okay, there's that. Now, like I said, if they have Extinction Event, they can't do it. Mire Triton comes down. They're just going to try to put out a bunch of blockers. That's what I would do. They can block and sack to the Woe Strider. It's great. Keep setting up their turn. Glass Casket's a good draw. Claim the Firstborn. Oh no. They got our Luminarch, our Aspirant. Good for them. So they're going to sack that to Woe Strider too. Down to 1 black. At the beginning of the turn, they'll put the token on the Woe Strider most likely. Yeah. Interesting. Fun play. They'll attack us with the Luminarch. So they have 1 black open. There's no way they're pumping that. This deck doesn't have a way to do that. It doesn't have... Yeah, we'll just block. They'll probably just sack it to the Woe Strider now. Otherwise they lose it. I mean, it dies either way. Why not get the Scry in? Yeah, that's what I thought. No point taking that 3 damage. So we're getting through for 3 in the air as is. Glass Casket, I think, wins us the game. So we will cast the glass casket. And that's the concede. Talk about heart of the cards. Good game, grandpas. What a draw. Okay, whew, it always feels good to be done with your taxes, doesn't it? All jokes aside, how do I think the deck did for the week? I think it's an amazing deck. This is the one I'm going to be using to climb the ladder when I'm not creating more content or coming up with new decks for sure. It's just super fast and efficient. The creatures are really, really strong. You have Glass Casket to just take care of anything they throw on the board early game. Then if they're going to try to board wipe you on turn, you can do the Redain, God of the Worthy. Go ahead and just protect yourself for another turn or two to just make sure you really get in there. The only changes I plan on making before I go out on the ladder is I'm going to remove 2 of the Containment Priests and add in 2 Draenith Magistrates. There was a lot of times where the ability for an opponent not be able to cast spells from anywhere other than their hands was a lot better than creatures would enter the battlefield if they were non-tokens. Worked a lot better than if a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. Just didn't come up as often. So with escape cards, with foretell cards, Draenith Magistrate's just way stronger at the moment. So if you like this deck, please subscribe to the video. Please give the video a like. Down in the comments, let me know how you like the deck, if you made any changes, what you did. You have a great time in the arena, and I'll see you next time.